Hi, I'm Abby Tosick here at FOWD, the Future of Web Design Conference, and I'm here with Josh Clark, who is one of our master speakers here, and he's going to give us a little bit about what he spoke about and his upcoming books. Hi, Josh.
Well, hi there. Yeah, I wrote a book called Tapworthy last year, which is about designing iPhone apps. But really, it's really about sort of how to think iPhone, or even more broadly, think mobile. So it's not a coding book, and it's not really a marketing book. It's for everybody really, who's involved in the app process to sort of understand what are the components that go into making a great mobile app. And there's sort of two pieces that I think that a lot of people get confused about when they're, or don't have as much of an experience thinking about, maybe I should say, when they come to designing for mobile. And one is just sort of thinking about the mobile context. What makes a great mobile app? Why do people use a tiny screen versus the full desktop? Because they come to it with different needs and intentions. So much of the book is about sort of figuring out, well, what are the components of a mobile app? What makes a great mobile experience? And then another piece of it is just actually designing for touch. We think a lot as interactive designers in terms of visual design. That we think of it almost in terms of graphic design, that it's about pretty pixels. It's not just how your pixels look, it's how they feel in the hand. Because it's almost as much a challenge of industrial design. Because you're designing this interface that is meant to be worked with hands and fingers, you're really almost designing a physical device. And so you have to think about honest-to-God ergonomics. Where do fingers fall on this thing? And also, what are the new opportunities that touch interfaces introduce for us as designers? Because one of the talks that I gave this morning was very much about this idea that touch allows us to really sort of sweep away 3 decades of buttons and menus and tabs and folders and all these abstractions that we've come up with for desktop to sort of work on information and content at a distance through a button, for example. Now we have the opportunity to actually touch the content and information that we're working with. And it really sort of creates entirely new ways of thinking about how do you design software, and also great opportunities to make the software easier to use. It's very much, I think, in a lot that you sort of have to think a little bit as almost like a child as you use this. And you see children using iPads and phones, iPhones or Android phones, as being, very sort of, they're very facile with it, very easy. They figure this stuff out immediately because they understand the physical metaphors that are behind them. And if we start to sort of think like kids, sort of let go of these 30 years of desktop conventions that have been imposed by the fact that we're using this mouse and pointer, these prosthetics that we point at things and that we've done for the last 25 years, that as we let go of those conventions, we actually have incredibly new opportunities to think about how we can engage our users and make their lives more fun and more productive.
Great, thanks so much, Josh. And where can people go to learn more about you?
Well, I'm at globalmoxie.com, and I tweet at globalmoxie. That's global, M-O-X-I-E.
Thanks so much.